Now here's a video I never thought I'd be making, ever. Adam Sessler, the former co-host of the iconic and unfortunately ill-fated Xplay on the G4 network, has been quite the divisive figure in the gaming community in recent years, especially on social media, to put it nicely, has come forward on BlueSky of all places to start throwing daggers at one Alyssa Mercante because she is too crazy for him. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT, and shout out to Daryl Best for bringing this information to me. Apparently, Adam Sessler has had enough of the downfall of journalism in gaming, specifically coming from Kotaku. And I never thought I'd be saying this, but potentially Adam Sessler could be beginning a redemption arc. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down this conversation on BlueSky, where Adam Sessler has pulled no punches when it comes to Alysa Mercante, letting everyone know that she is not a good figure in the gaming industry. The enemy of my enemy is my friend? Once heralded as a voice of reason in televised video games journalism, Sessler's fall from grace seemed spectacular, with public meltdowns left and right, and rants leading many, including myself, to question his own sanity.
Like, he's just going crazy, just over and over. He's a lunatic, and it makes you wonder why anyone would hire someone like this. Now, to his credit, he's not working for G4 anymore, so he can say whatever he wants. He's not representing the company or anything like that. But this is not any different than the things that he did, the outbursts that he had. Now, understand, Adam Sessler has stuff going on in his personal life. He has some family health issues that I'm sure that would be stressful. He's also a fucking drug addict. That's why he got fired from G4 in the first place, was cocaine. But Adam Sessler is a fucking lunatic. He's part of the reason that these people have lost their jobs.
But in an extremely unexpected twist, it now seems like Sessler might be embarking on his own redemption arc. His latest comments on BlueSky about Alyssa Mercante, the controversial former cam girl and Kotaku journalist, suggest that even he has reached his limits when it comes to what he's going to tolerate in the gaming industry, and somehow how Alyssa Mercante is well past them. The discussion began innocently enough from a post from Rick, known for his Bloodborne fandom, reminiscing about the rise and fall of the once beloved gaming blogs and Kotaku specifically. Rick says, "That joystick clown from last night had me thinking of the rise and fall of once beloved game blogs, and Kotaku absolutely takes the all-time cake of lamentable failure. Up through the Totilo era, it was actually a badge of honor for a studio to have a puff piece written about them there." And Adam Sessler chimed in with a response saying, "My God, yes, it was where the conversation for the day started. They would drive me nuts frequently with their takes, but they were for real and not the stinking sight of shit and supposition it decayed into." Enter Alyssa Mercante. Daryl Best says, "Well, look at the bullshit Alyssa Mercante put the publication through by supporting anti-Semitic morons on Twitch and that whole shit show over there." And Adam replied, "I actually don't know anything about her. I paid no attention to the BS factory that is Enthusiast Press after new G4 fell apart. Is she part of the Jew-hating collection of illiterates like Maddie Myers?" And for those unaware, Maddie Myers is a former writer for The Mary Sue, who moved on to Kotaku and then on to Polygon, and known for some pretty insane takes. And this person has seemed to have failed upwards over the years that Adam Sessler has taken issue with, and in fact wrote an entire blog piece about her because he's not the biggest fan of some journalists out there. From a certain perspective, it's actually hysterical to see how much I actually have in common with some of the lines of thinking with Adam Sessler. But I want to make sure not to give too much credit to a crazy person here. And Daryl Best said she supported a lot of the anti-Semitic BS on Twitch with the support of Palestine and Hezbollah BS that higher-ups forced her to buy out her contract, i.e. get fired. Then there's another battle on the whole DEI stuff with YouTube grifters that brought a lot of negative attention. Now, I'm going to forgive Daryl for calling people talking about DEI as YouTube grifters because that's not really what's happening here, but at least it's an end to getting Adam to open his heart and talk about the situation. Adam says, doing some more digging myself, and good God, how long did they let her fly her National Socialist colors? F the gaming press 5 times more than they already should have been effed. Enter Alyssa Mercante, and shout out to Old Man Grimm who alerted me of this because I missed it. She responded here to Adam saying, dude, ew, take this vibe back to Twitter, which is hysterical seeing as Alyssa Mercante herself is also on Twitter. So what's she trying to say? That she's allowed to say certain things on Twitter, but then other things are okay for BlueSky, depending on the audience that she's trying to curtail? Good luck making sense of anything that Alyssa says. But Adam follows up with, could have sworn we preferred the truth here. Block me anytime. To which Alyssa says, calling me anti-Semitic is the truth? Anyway, free Palestine. I don't think Alyssa sees just how dumb she looks by saying, take this vibe back to Twitter, when she also uses Twitter, almost like they want their own version of the truth to be shown in certain areas from their own perspective only, and only that perspective is allowed, perfectly exemplifying exactly the situation that we're in right now and how we got here. She is clearly coping and seething, and Daryl Best goes on to respond, and Daryl responds back saying, it's a whole shit show. I'm wondering if she even has a shot at winning that lawsuit she has going against one of YouTubers. Regardless, it's like watching a slow motion train wreck happen. Sessler clearly doesn't have any issue holding back on any professional journalists in the gaming industry because he's had enough with how these people are, which is saying something for how Adam Sessler himself has acted in recent years. But to see him take a stance against Mercante here has got to make you think, holy crap, how bad do you have to be for Adam Sessler to insinuate that you're crazy? Sessler's willingness here to go against Alyssa Mercante's controversial approach is notable for a few reasons. It highlights his disdain for what he calls the bullshit factory of the gaming press, a sentiment that I and many people out there have shared more and more in recent years, but few prominent figures in the gaming industry have actually verbalized it. Adam's extremely unfiltered critique of Mercante here suggests that even someone as far off the deep end as he is has to draw the line somewhere, and Mercante is well past it, and there's definitely some comedy to be found here looking at Adam Sessler pointing at Alyssa Mercante and saying that she's the one that's unhinged. Adam Sessler's comments resonate with much of the gaming community here because they mark that very rare moment of clarity for someone whose recent public persona has been anything but grounded. For many in the gaming community, this moment right here feels like a glimmer of hope that even the most seemingly completely lost figures in gaming can rediscover some semblance of reason, eventually. And Damien on Twitter said, you know you went off the deep end when Adam Sessler, who is also off the deep end, says you're way too off the deep end. Like, bro, how? And Stuttering Craig says, when Sessler thinks you're crazy, ... The Mercante saga has become emblematic of broader issues in gaming journalism that I've touched on quite a bit in recent months especially, where a controversy often overshadows actual credibility. Sessler's pushback against Mercante here, and Kotaku by extension, feels like a much-needed check on the industry plagued by narcissism, hypocrisy, ideology, and a departure from the authenticity that raw, authentic journalism used to have in its roots. And it's all but gone these days, but I'd like to think in the destruction of current games journalism, we see the glimmers of hope where it's starting to rise back, being built back up currently by, honestly, of all people, YouTubers. I said on Twitter, we've come full circle. Adam Sessler now agrees that Alyssa is a whack job. And I quoted him, F the gaming press 5 times more than they already should have been effed. And then I said, what is even happening out here? 8-Bit Eric quote tweeted it and said, I did not have Adam Sessler being against Alyssa Mercante on my bingo card. Maybe sanity is returning after all, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I'd hate to build this all up just to be let down once again by someone like Adam Sessler, but Who knows? Perhaps Sessler's redemption arc is just beginning here. If Adam Sessler, once thought to be irreparably off the rails throughout the entire community, can see through all this nonsense, maybe there's hope for the rest of the lost journalists out there someday, given that you're willing to forgive and forget and move on. But that might just be a bridge too far for a lot of people, and it definitely depends on how it's handled. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. If you appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
Not usually very many people clamoring for more awfulness.
Just the idiots. Now, much in the same way Schwarzenegger getting elected governor caused the networks to rerun Red Heat, current events have now compelled the makers of Conflict Desert Storm to issue forth a